asleep right now. Hi. As you can tell, I was trying to fall asleep. Oh, it's very intimate. I have to whisper because my nephew is asleep in another room. And so are his mom and his dad, and they were on a trip and now they're back. So I have to whisper, but I feel as though I can't sleep because I have a message. So, like, spirit wants to come through. You might be tired. I've been opening myself up a lot more to consciously channeling. I'm always receiving, and it's usually through song that I'd never record and never share, which is something I would like to do. But it's always through song that I am able to get this out. It has to come through, or else I get very fidgety, and that's what's happening with me right now. My legs I can feel energy stored in them. So maybe your legs are feeling a little bit heavy. Maybe your legs are feeling tingly, or you're not using them as much, like they need to be worked out more, if that makes sense. I like to go rollerblading, and I didn't do that today, and my legs are like, you should have been rollerblading. My brain is probably as well. So I'm just gonna tune in to see what this channel is about. You might be working very hard right now on something in your life. This could be in your physical life, like you could be every day getting up, typing on your computer, or editing things, or just going above and beyond for your job. Whether you are employed by someone else, or you are trying to make a dream happen, this kind of feels more like it's extra. So like a dream that you want to make come true, but you're not really in the habit of it yet, the ritual of it yet. I know this is for me as well, this message. And the more that you know, it's like, you know, that idea where it's like, well, if you want to become this person, what does this person do every day? If you want to be, you know, a children's book writer, what would that person do every day? Would they be watching TV all day, or would they be writing, creating, at least at some portion through the day? Nothing wrong with watching a bit of TV, but it's like, you know that you have these things that you want to do, but you are leaning into some other comforts, even if they're not that good for you, to just avoid doing and creating this new life. Maybe you're scared and you're stuck in your comfort zone. But the longer we stay in our comfort zone, the more uncomfortable we get. So that's maybe when things like using substances or going back to older habits, overeating, like, and I want you to give yourself so much grace with this and so much compassion, because none of this is meant to be shameful in any way, but I feel like you might be carrying a bit of shame over it. Like, the way you're spending your days, you know, is not conducive for this life, this timeline that you want to step into, but you don't see another way because you doubt yourself. I think that's what this feels like. It feels like self-doubt and self-sabotage. Self-doubt and self-sabotage. And Spirit just wants to let you know that at any stage in your life, as soon as you choose this timeline, this life, this version of you, it's there. Not that time is ever going to run out. Time is never going to run out. That's what they're saying, that, you know, you don't need to feel like if you don't do it now, it's never going to happen. Confirmation verb. What they are saying, though, is that the sooner you do it, the more satisfied and happy you will be. You are at a stage now where there's nothing holding you back except yourself. You don't have major karma keeping you away from this step in your life. All that's holding you back, all that's stopping you is you right now. So that's why it's important to seek out some sort of therapy. I'm getting not just talk therapy, but like movement, and very specific. Like you may be wanting to do some sort of new exercise like Pilates, pole dancing, karate or something. And that's all good, and go for it. But this is, I'm getting that sitting down with a professional in whatever capacity. I'm not talking it doesn't have to be a psychotherapist. It doesn't have to be in a clinical setting, but I'm talking about sitting down with a shaman, an energy healer, somebody who's very practiced in what they do, because that is who will be able to guide you through this block, the kind of stagnation that you're feeling. Also divine timing and everything. As I said, Spirit wants to say that there's no limit on this, but I mean, nothing is stopping you. Nothing is stopping you. So they're advising you and encouraging you, imploring you to really take that step for yourself. Really, baby steps, atomic habits. That book is coming through again. Maybe listen to the audio book if you can't sit down and read it. But starting very small, very slowly as well, not to overwhelm yourself. Also, Enneagram is coming up. Looking into your Enneagram and seeing where, I think it's like the third or the fifth point of the Enneagram is kind of where one will take a few steps back and may self-sabotage before they push through to that final 5, 6, 7, 8, the last 3 steps in an Enneagram when it comes to making life changes. What else, Spirit? Birds are coming through so much. Particularly crows, magpies. I'm getting vultures as well, which is interesting. I would never put them in a group together. Vultures. So I'm being guided to just tell a story about a nature program that I watched. There was a mother lion, and when cubs are really, really small, they don't often, so the mother will go have children by herself, and she will leave her pride to have her babies. And when they're very, very young, she can't bring them back to the pride yet, because male lions may kill the young if the little cubs get in the wrong place at the wrong time, they may die. So the mom will be separate from the pride for a while, and then eventually will be able to integrate them back in together. But one thing that happened in this program that I was watching was, so she's a single mother. Usually in lion prides, they hunt together. The female lions hunt together. But when she was alone and she had to get food for her children, her little cubs, she had to hide them and go and hunt and kill something and then go get her children or pull this back to her children. But what happens sometimes is that vultures will start circling when this when this dead animal is there, they'll start circling to wait for the lion to go away so they can come in and get their food. But other lions will see the vultures circling and they will come and they can often steal the meal. Which, that's nature, baby. But and that's what happened in this story. And she wasn't able to introduce her cubs at that stage because it was too you don't get in between a lion and its meal. And the kids were not safe then either. Eventually she integrated the kids back into the pride and they were all okay and they got a bit older. But I think, Spirit, why did I tell that story? There's twofold here. One is that you could feel like you're doing a lot of work. Maybe you feel scared to release things in case somebody steals it from you, or you're afraid to share and work with other people in case that is okay. I get it. In case your unfinished work is taken, or your unfinished work, somebody comes in and kind of makes it theirs and then leaves you out. Maybe this has happened to you before. Maybe you have a wound over this that may be preventing you from moving forward with some of your work. And this is work that is very close to your heart and that you've got it guarded for a long time. But Spirit wants you to know that it's safe to collaborate, it's safe to work with others on this, it's safe to reach out and ask for help. There are people in your life that you can trust with helping you along the way in these situations. So this work that you may feel you've hit a wall with and you just need some fresh energy, some new energy, of course ask Spirit to come in and guide you to your next step within this work, how to keep it flowing, how to keep the energy flowing. But as well as that, know that you may be guided to somebody in your life that has that energy, that has the key, that has the influence and the inspiration. And there's another word. Oh, excuse me, confirmation burp. There was another word that was on the tip of my tongue, but it's gone now. It'll come back if it has to. And I think the thing with the vultures is the same. Like, once you've caught that meal for yourself, and maybe you're doing this because you want to provide for your family as well, you want to like level up with being more in control of, not settling for just a 9-to-5 job that you're really good at, that like there's no shame in working that, but you have so much more potential so that you can up level your income, up level your resources, up level your connections, so that you can support your family on a whole new level. The vultures and the lions, that pride was her family and they didn't even mind. So maybe there could be some familial beef, and like, I'm very sorry if there is. That is a heavy thing, but that might not be the case. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That story was just an example of when you work really hard for something and it's taken from you, that can leave a very big wound. Or you feel like there's people ready to come and pounce and get it. There's such a thing as like patenting intellectual property these days. I don't know what it consists of. I know a little way that I would do it. I'm not getting into that right now though. But there's ways, there's a very, very real step-by-step way that you can patent your own things, your own ideas, and your work is worth putting that patent on. Your work is worth protecting. And I know you know that because that's kind of why you haven't put it fully out there yet, because you're not really sure how to protect it fully. So definitely, maybe the person that you will speak to, maybe this informed person, and it could be a book, it could be a soul, a book, it could be a person on the internet, like on YouTube or TikTok or something that gives you the guidance and understanding and the click that you require. So I feel like the things here are believing yourself, betting on yourself, making those tiny adjustments in your day-to-day life, like excuse me, your routine. I'm hearing that like you have space to make a routine. I'm someone who thrives from routine but doesn't love sticking to it because I like being spontaneous. But it's definitely, maybe you have ADHD as well, or just a hard time focusing on one single task. Um, for example, I keep getting the example of writing. So, like, you would often hear that writers have pretty strict rituals they follow every day. So, perhaps beginning one of those. I think you need a dopamine cleanse as well, like removing some short form content from your day to day. Maybe taking a break from social media for a little while just so you can reset your brain, spending a lot more time outside with some trees. This might be hard if you live in a city or an area that doesn't have a lot of nature slash wildlife slash trees. And young trees are amazing and they're definitely worth connecting with and building relationships with, but trying to go somewhere with older, more mature trees and spending time with them will definitely help regulate your nervous system, and then in turn regulating your hormone system, endocrine system. So getting out as much as you can to do that will all help with this. Creating a new routine in which you prioritize your passion, your work, your passion project, and understand that it is like a child, a baby. I don't love the word child, but it's like a it's like a baby or a little person that you are looking after, a little soul. It needs care and attention and needs you to show up every day in some way, shape, or form. And it needs compassion and patience, and you need to, excuse me for telling you what you need to do, but this is all coming from spirit. And I feel like spirit source has a right to tell you that you need to do this. You need to give yourself grace and compassion and patience. And I know it can be infuriating sometimes, and it can be very, very, you might feel reckless, or you might feel like you're not dedicated, but every time you show up, even if it goes in swings and roundabouts, and there's a few days, a few weeks, a few months, years where you don't touch this love of yours, this passion, this project, this work, when you go back, you're recommitting to that, and it's just about going back and back and recommitting, and eventually you're stepping into this life. Eventually you're in this timeline, and there's no better moment to even start visualizing that. I want you to get so serious with your visualizing and your vision boards. That's huge. That's going to be a very, very big help for you to move into your timeline. It's going to help you a lot when you are in putting these new routines into your day to day. It's going to help you a lot with that as well, because it's going to be motivation. It's going to be adding fuel to your fire. I feel like that's what you're missing at the minute. There's no spark. That's like getting you up to go because you've been pretty tired and exhausted. So think about where you're living. Think about cleansing your space. Think about the job you're doing day to day. If you are doing a job at the minute, think about how you're spending your time, any job that you do is going to create stress of some sort. Maybe that's very general, but maybe the job that you're doing now is creating you stress, and maybe that's been in the past that has been a trend. Not saying that it's going to continue, so I take it back. Not any job that you want to do, but I think I just mean day to day. I need to uncross my legs. Day to day, life creates. Day to day, we experience stressors. And even if you're not looking at your phone, you're not looking at social media and things like that, you're a sensitive being. You don't have to. You can feel it in the collective. So, how are you regulating yourself? You need to move your body. Going to a dance class, as aforementioned, moving your body in different ways. Whatever is pulling you, try out a lot of different things. I tried jiu-jitsu this year. I tried powerlifting last year. I did enjoy powerlifting. Jiu-jitsu I enjoyed, but it's more of a lifestyle. I'm not going to keep going. But now I know those things. I've tried them both. They're both cool in their own ways, not 100% for me. So just keep trying until you perhaps find a group, a crowd, a hobby that really you enjoy, that you would go back to, and when that moves your body, or just keep trying different ones and move your body in all these different ways, so that you're shaking it up and you're not becoming too stagnant. Because what I was going to say earlier as well was that while you're in your comfort zone, you may be picking up old habits to cope with the discomfort. So maybe smoking, maybe drinking alcohol again, maybe taking substances. Absolutely no shade, tea nor lemonade. We do what we do in certain times in our lives, but spirit wants you to know that that's what that is. Like, if you feel yourself being drawn back into that, your body wants to relieve the stress, and you know how to relieve the stress in ways that may not benefit you overall. They might be some coping mechanisms that worked for you for a while that you're ready to move on from, and that you have moved on from, but it feels like you've just come back to a part in your life, and that's where the impatience is as well. You're kind of like, oh my god, am I here again? I've made so many steps, I've made so many strides, and I can't just like get there. Well, this is what's going to help you get there. Moving your body more, creating a new day-to-day routine that is more inclusive of your work and your passion. Anything else? Just courage. Just courage. That's not even what I thought I was going to say. Having courage to move forward, having courage to share your art, share your art, share your art, share your art. So important. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not, in fact, it's not going to be perfect, but share your art. Get it to a standard that you want to get it to and share it, but also don't wait around for it to be perfect, you know? And the other thing is, you have so much encouragement from the universe. All of your ancestors, you're the one that your ancestors have waited for. They want you to express your story yourself. That's why you're here. They want you to experience all of the bounty that life has to offer. They want you to do what they couldn't do. You know, they want you to really, truly be all that they couldn't be. And that's not to put pressure on you in any way. It's more that they're supporting you. and being whoever you want to be. You don't need to be who they wanted to be, but to be who you want to be is what they perhaps couldn't do. You know, they couldn't be who they wanted to be, so they support you fully and they want you to be who you want to be. They want you to be who you are. They want you to know who you are. They want you to be who you are. Know thyself. They want to help you pull back any cobwebs over your eyes, any cotton wool over your eyes, and they want you to see the truth. And I'm hearing that they will show you the truth, but you see the truth every time you look in the mirror, and there's like cobwebs over you. There's like, these are all these patterned thoughts. You might have a hard time looking in the mirror. You might have a hard time looking in the mirror, and every now and then you can, but you might have a hard time looking in the mirror. A hard time keeping eye contact with yourself, and you find that very scary. I feel that. And I'm sorry if you do feel that, because that's really hard. It's a hard place to be, and it takes a lot of practice, and it's very confronting looking yourself in the mirror and speaking to yourself the way you deserve to be spoken to, in a very positive, loving, compassionate, patient, encouraging, warm, soft, kind manner. Because maybe you didn't get that when you were growing up, so you're a bit starved of it, and you might not think that it is available to you. You might not think that you deserve it, but you do. You do. All of your angels are with you, and they want you to know that you do. Source wants you to know that you deserve it. You know deep down that you deserve it, because you know that everybody deserves it. You know that every soul that is incarnated on this planet right now deserves to look in the mirror. And underneath all of the cobwebs, underneath all of the stories, underneath everything, there is an innocence within, and there is a soul that is a fractal of source energy of life. And you know that you deserve love. And I'm hearing from source that these pattern thinkings, you're already in motion of meeting yourself in this timeline. And these pattern thinkings are going to break down and fall away, but that's where the therapy is going to come in and help you. It's not going to be super duper easy, as you know, because you've been on this journey for a while. There is a lot of, releasing emotion is a big deal, and it's important to feel safe. It's so important to feel held, and for you to do that, you need courage, and that's why you have courage. That's why you're made to be so brave. That's why you are who you are, because you were always meant to be on this journey. You're right on time. You're never too early, never too late. And the universe completely has your back. I'm holding my unicorn teddy at the minute. So there is a big link to your inner child here, who is really craving I'm hearing the word starving for that love, that affection, that validation, but that can only come from you, to you. So doing some mirror work is definitely going to help with this process as well. Journaling through this. You need to buy a new journal. You don't like the one you normally have, or you don't like the one you have already at the minute. Use that for something else. Get yourself a really nice journal for this process. Make it honor this time, because this is, I'm hearing, one of the last times before your absolute dream life, your incarnation into this timeline, your timeline jump. This is one of the last times that you're going to have to do this really heavy, deep work in this chapter of your life. Of course, I'm speaking to a lot of Scorpios here, and Capricorn, particularly Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Chiron, and Lilith. Scorpio Venus is all here, Scorpio 4th house. This journey is lifelong, so I'm not saying that it's going to just cease one day and you're just not going to have to do any more work. That's not true, but I'm just being urged to let you know that at this point in your life, this is like your final hurdle before you move into this. You're already abundant and you know that. You can feel it. You can feel it from the inside out. You've been working on it from the inside and it's manifesting around you as you are in this moment. But you're going to reach a new level of that, and there is this is the block. I'm getting like big sacral and solar plexus vibes here, these two areas. So like all to do with like creation, the opposite of shame, pleasure as well, and then the carrying it out, the action. And you know, your energy centers are never just open and that's them for the rest of your days. So these, you may have experienced these energies being open and, excuse me, fluid, confirmation verb, bless me. These energy centers being fluid and active, but maybe they've just become a little bit more stagnant again. Yeah, and definitely some stargazing and keeping your third eye cleansed, and you know, giving it a little rub, closing it at nighttime if you don't want to be having crazy dreams, so you can get actual good sleep. That's one more thing. A sleep hygiene, you need to improve the quality of your sleep. That's coming from source, I'm sorry to tell you. Having ritual at nighttime and putting yourself to sleep is going to be very important as well. Anything else, source? No, I can go to bed. Great. Okay. You can tell I've been trying to sleep because I've got bedhead already. Just in case, my eyes were closed, so I don't know if you actually got to see my unicorn teddy. But yeah, that is, thank you. If you're still here, thank you for listening. That's a beautiful message. And I wish you luck on your endeavors. Please let me know if this resonates with you. Please let me know. Come back to this video if you watch this and your life progresses with this dream, this work, this inner work as well that you're doing. Let's have a conversation in the comments. Okay. Bless you. I'm so tired. Love you. Thank you.